Hello, friends. If you're excited to learn all about the movie Avengers, Infinity War 2018 in English, don't forget to give this video a like. And if it's your first time with us, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We dive into the best movies. So join us and never miss out on the latest content. Let's get started. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, is renowned for its breathtaking storytelling, iconic characters, and jaw-dropping action sequences. And then there's Avengers, Infinity War, a cinematic event unlike any other. Released in 2018, this film didn't just elevate superhero movies to new heights, but also became a cultural phenomenon that left audiences around the world in awe. Directed by the Russo brothers Anthony and Joe Russo, Infinity War is the culmination of 10 years of interconnected storytelling, weaving together the threads of multiple franchises into one epic saga. Set against the backdrop of the cosmos, Infinity War combines elements of fantasy, science fiction, and action to tell a gripping tale of sacrifice, courage, and the relentless pursuit of power. It brings together a massive ensemble cast, including Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Spider-Man, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Black Panther, uniting for one purpose: to stop Thanos, the Mad Titan, from collecting all 6 Infinity Stones. These stones hold the power to reshape the universe, and Thanos intends to use them to impose his twisted vision of balance, destroying half of all life in existence. The movie wastes no time plunging the audience into the action. The opening scene sets a chilling tone as Thanos, played masterfully by Josh Brolin, demonstrates the full extent of his power. His calm yet menacing demeanor makes him one of the most compelling villains in cinematic history. From that moment, the stakes are clear. This isn't just another battle. It's a fight for the survival of the universe. But before diving into the plot, let's talk about the overall vibe of Infinity War. Unlike most superhero movies, which focus on a single protagonist or team, this film juggles a dizzying number of characters and storylines. Yet, the Russo brothers manage to balance it all seamlessly, ensuring every character gets their moment to shine. The pacing is relentless, switching between galaxies, planets, and even dimensions, but it never feels overwhelming. Each scene builds on the tension, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. At its core, Infinity War is a story about choices and consequences. Every hero is faced with tough decisions that test their resolve, their alliances, and their values. The emotional depth of the film is what truly sets it apart. It's not just about flashy battles and witty one-liners. It's about the sacrifices made in the name of what's right, even when the odds are insurmountable. Now, let's dive into the plot, but don't worry. We'll keep it spoiler-free for those of you who haven't seen it yet. The movie opens with a harrowing sequence that establishes Thanos as a formidable force. With 2 Infinity Stones already in his possession, he's well on his way to achieving his ultimate goal. The remaining stones are scattered across the universe, each guarded by a different hero or group of heroes. The first half of the movie is a race against time. The Avengers, who have been fractured since the events of Captain America, Civil War, must put aside their differences and unite. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Galaxy find themselves unexpectedly drawn into the conflict when they encounter Thor, who narrowly escapes a devastating attack by Thanos. This unlikely alliance sets the stage for some of the film's most memorable moments, blending humor, drama, and high-stakes action. As the story unfolds, we get to see how each group of heroes confronts the looming threat of Thanos. Doctor Strange and Iron Man team up with Spider-Man to protect the Time Stone, while Scarlet Witch and Vision, who share a touching romance, are faced with the difficult task of keeping the Mind Stone out of Thanos' grasp. On the other side of the universe, Thor, Rocket, and Groot embark on a quest to forge a weapon powerful enough to take down the Mad Titan. The beauty of Infinity War lies in its ability to weave together these disparate storylines while maintaining a cohesive narrative. Each subplot is carefully crafted to highlight the unique strengths and personalities of the characters involved. Whether it's Tony Stark's quick wit, Thor's godly determination, or Peter Quill's reckless charm, every moment feels true to the characters we've come to know and love. Of course, the real star of the movie is Thanos himself. Unlike many one-dimensional villains, Thanos is a complex character with a clear, albeit twisted, moral code. He genuinely believes that his plan to eliminate half of all life will bring balance to the universe. This sense of conviction, combined with Josh Brolin's nuanced performance, makes him a villain you can't help but understand, even as you root for the heroes to stop him. The second half of the movie ramps up the tension, as Thanos edges closer to collecting all 6 Infinity Stones. The heroes face unimaginable challenges, testing their courage, strength, and unity. Each battle is more intense than the last, culminating in a climactic showdown that will leave you breathless. And just when you think you've seen it all, Infinity War hits you with a twist that changes everything. It's a bold move, one that defies traditional superhero movie tropes and sets the stage for an unforgettable conclusion. What makes Avengers Infinity War so impactful is its ability to blend spectacle with substance. The action sequences are some of the most visually stunning in the MCU, with each fight choreographed to perfection. But it's the quieter moments, the conversations, the sacrifices, the unspoken bonds between characters that truly resonate. The movie isn't just about saving the world. It's about the cost of heroism and the choices that define us. To wrap up Avengers, Infinity War is more than just a movie. It's an experience. It's a roller coaster of emotions, a testament to the power of storytelling, and a celebration of everything we love about the MCU. Whether you're a die-hard Marvel fan or a casual moviegoer, this film has something for everyone. And while it leaves us with more questions than answers, it's all part of the journey. A journey that continues in the epic conclusion, Avengers Endgame. The characters in Avengers Infinity War are the heartbeat of the story, each contributing to the film's intricate web of emotions, action, and drama. In a movie this massive, it's a challenge to give every hero their due, but the Russo brothers managed to do just that, crafting arcs that highlight their strengths, struggles, and sacrifices. The sheer number of characters could have easily overwhelmed the narrative, but instead, their interactions and individual journeys are what make this film so compelling. At the center of it all stands Thanos, a villain unlike any the Marvel Cinematic Universe has seen before. He is the axis around which the entire story revolves, a figure of immense power and conviction. What makes Thanos so fascinating is his complexity. He isn't evil for the sake of being evil. He genuinely believes his actions are for the greater good. His mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones and use them to wipe out half of all life in the universe stems from a warped sense of morality. He sees himself as a savior, bringing balance to a universe he believes is on the brink of collapse due to overpopulation and resource scarcity. This belief drives him, and Josh Brolin's performance adds layers of depth to this character, making him simultaneously fearsome and strangely empathetic. Then there's Tony Stark, or Iron Man, whose journey has always been about evolution, from a self-centered billionaire to a hero willing to risk everything for others. In Infinity War, Tony's arc reaches a critical juncture. He's haunted by the knowledge that an extraterrestrial threat is looming, a fear first hinted at in the Avengers and further explored in Iron Man 3. This fear turns into a relentless drive to protect the Earth, no matter the cost. His interactions with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man showcases leadership and vulnerability. The dynamic between Tony and Peter Parker is particularly touching, as Tony wrestles with the weight of being a mentor and father figure to the young hero. Their bond is a poignant thread in the movie, and it's clear that Tony sees Peter not just as an ally, but as someone he deeply cares about. Thor's journey in Infinity War is one of loss and resilience. At the start of the film, he suffers devastating blows. His people are massacred, and his brother Loki meets a tragic fate. Despite this, Thor channels his pain into determination, embarking on a quest to forge Stormbreaker, a weapon capable of killing Thanos. His partnership with Rocket and Groot adds a layer of humor and camaraderie to his arc, but beneath the banner lies a man grappling with profound grief. Chris Hemsworth delivers one of his best performances, capturing Thor's transformation from a god burdened by loss to a warrior fueled by purpose. Doctor Strange, played with sharp wit and intensity by Benedict Cumberbatch, is another key player. As the guardian of the Time Stone, Strange understands the stakes better than most, and his decisions are guided by a strategic vision that not everyone understands. His interactions with Tony Stark are a highlight of the film, as their clashing egos and approaches create moments of tension and humor. Strange's calm, calculated demeanor contrasts with Tony's impulsive nature, making their partnership both fascinating and effective. Steve Rogers, or Captain America, takes on a quieter but equally significant role in this story. No longer the clean-cut leader in a shiny uniform, Steve operates in the shadows as Nomad, a hero without a country. His unwavering sense of duty and loyalty to his friends define his actions. He stands as a moral compass, rallying those around him with quiet strength. His reunion with Bucky, now free from the brainwashing that turned him into the Winter Soldier, is brief but meaningful, highlighting the depth of their friendship. The Guardians of the Galaxy bring their unique blend of humor and heart to the film, but they are also thrust into some of its most emotional moments. Peter Quill, or Star-Lord, is a character torn between his cocky persona and his deep feelings for Gamora. His decisions, driven by love and anger, have far-reaching consequences. Gamora, on the other hand, becomes a central figure in Thanos' quest. Her complex relationship with her adoptive father adds layers to the story, as we see her strength and vulnerability in equal measure. Zoe Saldana shines in these moments, delivering a performance that balances Gamora's fierceness with her inner turmoil. Rocket and Groot, as always, provide comic relief, but their bond with Thor adds depth to their roles. Rocket, in particular, steps up as a mentor-like figure, showing a more mature side to his character. Groot, now a moody teenager, brings humor to the story while also contributing in unexpected ways. Drax and Mantis round out the Guardians ensemble, their quirks and interactions providing levity amidst the film's darker moments. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, and Vision share one of the film's most poignant arcs. Their love story, developed over several films, takes center stage as they fight to protect the Mind Stone embedded in Vision's forehead. Wanda's powers are put to the test as she faces impossible choices, and Elizabeth Olsen's performance captures the heartbreak and determination of a character willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. Black Panther and the people of Wakanda play a crucial role in the latter half of the film. T'Challa's leadership and Shuri's brilliance shine as they prepare for the battle of a lifetime. Wakanda becomes the backdrop for one of the film's most epic showdowns, and the presence of characters like Okoye and M'Baka adds to the sense of unity and strength that defines this nation. Finally, we have the supporting characters who, while not in the spotlight, leave a lasting impact. Bruce Banner struggles with his inability to summon the Hulk, a conflict that adds a layer of vulnerability to his character. Sam Wilson, Falcon, and Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, remain steadfast allies, their loyalty and skill invaluable in the fight against Thanos' forces. The interplay between all these characters is what makes Avengers: Infinity War so special. Each one brings their own history, motivations, and strengths to the table, creating a tapestry of personalities that enrich the story. The film doesn't just rely on spectacle. It delves into the emotions and relationships that drive these heroes. Whether it's the witty banter between Iron Man and Spider-Man, the heartfelt moments between Vision and Wanda, or the tragic complexities of Thanos and Gamora, every interaction feels purposeful and meaningful. In the end, Infinity War is a testament to the power of collaboration, not just among the heroes on screen, but also among the filmmakers, writers, and actors who brought these characters to life. It's a story of individuals coming together, each bringing their unique qualities to a shared goal. And while the film leaves us with a sense of unresolved tension, it's these characters and their journeys that stay with us, reminding us of the humanity at the heart of this epic battle. The first half of Avengers, Infinity War, unfolds with a relentless energy that hooks the audience right from the opening moments. The film wastes no time plunging viewers into the chaos, delivering a story that feels both expansive and intimate. Every scene is a carefully crafted piece of a much larger puzzle, weaving together multiple plot lines and characters with a precision that ensures no moment feels out of place. The story begins in the aftermath of Thor, Ragnarok, where the Asgardian survivors are aboard their ship, having escaped the destruction of their home. However, their reprieve is short-lived. The opening sequence sets a grim tone, as Thanos makes his entrance, asserting his dominance and revealing the scope of his power. The devastation he leaves in his wake serves as a brutal reminder of the stakes at hand. This scene not only establishes Thanos as a formidable antagonist, but also showcases his unwavering determination to collect the Infinity Stones, the driving force behind the film's narrative. From here, the story fragments into multiple threads, each focusing on a different group of characters as they respond to the looming threat. On Earth, Tony Stark is introduced in a moment of rare calm, walking with Pepper Potts and discussing their future. This quiet, personal moment is interrupted by the arrival of Doctor Strange, who seeks Tony's help in dealing with the imminent danger posed by Thanos. Strange's appearance, coupled with Bruce Banner's return from space, immediately shifts the tone from personal to urgent. The dialogue between Tony, Strange, and Banner crackles with tension and humor, laying the groundwork for an uneasy alliance. Meanwhile, in space, the Guardians of the Galaxy come across Thor, floating unconscious amidst the debris of his destroyed ship. This meeting of two vastly different groups, Thor's regal demeanor clashing with the Guardians' irreverence, injects a dose of levity into the film. Yet beneath the humor lies a shared understanding of the threat they face. Thor's determination to forge a weapon capable of killing Thanos becomes a driving force for this group, and his interactions with Rocket and Groot are both amusing and heartfelt. As the plot progresses, the film deftly balances its multiple storylines, ensuring that each one feels significant and interconnected. In Scotland, Vision and Wanda Maximoff share a tender moment, seeking solace in their love amidst the chaos surrounding them. Their brief respite is shattered when Thanos' minions, the Black Order, attack them, intent on retrieving the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead. This sequence is a perfect blend of action and emotion, showcasing the depth of Wanda and Vision's bond while highlighting the relentless nature of Thanos' pursuit. The arrival of Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and Sam Wilson to aid Wanda and Vision is a triumphant moment that signals the reunion of the Avengers, albeit a fractured one. Steve's stoic determination and Natasha's calm efficiency underscore their commitment to the fight, even as they operate outside the authority of the government. This scene also marks a thematic shift in the film, as the heroes begin to unite in their efforts to counter Thanos' plan. Back in New York, the battle escalates as Thanos' forces confront Tony, Doctor Strange, Bruce, and Peter Parker. This sequence is a masterclass in pacing, seamlessly blending high-stakes action with character-driven moments. Peter's transformation into Spider-Man, complete with his new suit, is a highlight, showcasing his eagerness to step up and help. Meanwhile, Strange's capture by the Black Order sets the stage for a space-bound adventure that pairs Tony and Peter with the Sorcerer. The narrative structure of the first half is designed to keep the audience on edge, moving swiftly from one group of characters to another while maintaining a cohesive sense of urgency. The film's themes of sacrifice, unity, and the moral complexity of Thanos' mission are woven throughout these early scenes. Thanos' belief that his actions are justified adds a layer of depth to his character, making him more than just a one-dimensional villain. This complexity is mirrored in the heroes' struggles, as they grapple with the cost of their decisions and the weight of their responsibilities. Thor's journey to Nidavellir, accompanied by Rocket and Groot, introduces an entirely new setting and mythology to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The forging of Stormbreaker is not just a physical act, but a symbolic one, representing Thor's resilience and determination to avenge his people. This subplot also allows for moments of introspection, as Thor reflects on the losses he has endured and his resolve to continue fighting. On Earth, the reunited Avengers travel to Wakanda, seeking refuge and assistance from T'Challa and his people. The arrival in Wakanda is a moment of hope and unity as the characters prepare for the battle to come. The advanced technology and resources of Wakanda offer a glimmer of optimism, even as the looming threat of Thanos' army casts a shadow over their preparations. The inclusion of characters like Shuri, Okoye, and M'Baku adds depth to this setting, highlighting the strength and resourcefulness of Wakanda. Throughout the first half of the film, the pacing is meticulously crafted to balance action, humor, and emotion. The transitions between storylines are seamless, creating a sense of momentum that keeps the audience engaged. The themes of love, loss, and the cost of heroism are explored through the characters' interactions and decisions, adding emotional weight to the spectacle. The visual elements of the first half are equally impressive, with each setting and sequence carefully designed to enhance the story. The contrast between the futuristic landscapes of Wakanda and the cosmic realms of Nidavellir underscores the vast scope of the narrative. The use of color, lighting, and cinematography creates a dynamic visual experience that complements the film's themes and tone. As the first half of Infinity War unfolds, it becomes clear that this is not just a typical superhero movie. The stakes are higher, the emotions more intense, and the characters more deeply developed. Each scene builds upon the last, creating a sense of momentum that propels the story forward. By the time the film reaches its midpoint, the audience is fully invested in the fates of these heroes, eagerly anticipating what lies ahead. As Avengers, Infinity War transitions into its second half. The stakes become impossibly higher, and the tension ripples through every frame. The narrative crescendos into a symphony of action, character development, and heartbreaking choices, leaving no room for respite. Each thread from the first half begins to intertwine, setting the stage for a finale that redefines what it means to be a superhero movie. The second half opens with Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man aboard the alien ship of Ebony Maw. Their journey becomes a blend of strategy and improvisation as they devise a plan to rescue Strange and stop Thanos. The dynamic between the three characters shifts dramatically. Tony's no-nonsense demeanor contrasts with Peter's wide-eyed wonder and Strange's calculated composure. Peter's pop culture references, like his nod to aliens, bring a levity that momentarily offsets the looming dread. Their success in defeating Maw and steering the ship to Titan is a small but significant victory, serving as a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Galaxy rendezvous with Thor on his quest to forge Stormbreaker. The mood here is a careful balance of humor and gravity. Thor's banter with Rocket and Groot provides moments of comic relief, but his underlying grief and determination are palpable. On Nidavellir, Thor's confrontation with Eitri, the giant dwarf blacksmith, reveals the price of power. The forging of Stormbreaker is both a physical and emotional trial for Thor, culminating in a moment of triumph that hints at the pivotal role he will play in the coming battles. On Earth, the Avengers regroup in Wakanda, preparing for the inevitable confrontation with Thanos' forces. This segment of the film shifts its focus to teamwork and strategy. Shuri, the tech genius of Wakanda, works tirelessly to remove the Mind Stone from Vision without killing him. The camaraderie and trust among the characters are evident as they unite despite their differences. Wakanda itself becomes a character in this sequence, a vibrant, thriving land ready to stand as the last bastion against destruction. The arrival of the Black Order and their monstrous army shatters the serenity, plunging the heroes into a battle that feels both grand and personal. Back on Titan, the narrative shifts to Thanos' arrival. The confrontation between the Mad Titan and the unlikely alliance of Tony, Strange, Peter, Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis is a masterclass in storytelling. The battle is not just physical, but deeply psychological. Thanos reveals his warped ideology with chilling calm, justifying his genocidal mission as a form of mercy. This scene lays bare the depth of his character. He is not a villain in his own eyes, but a savior sacrificing everything for what he believes is a noble cause. The complexity of his motivations adds layers to the narrative, making him one of the most compelling antagonists in cinematic history. The action on Titan is breathtaking. Each hero brings their unique skills to the fight, creating a dynamic and visually stunning sequence. Doctor Strange's mastery of magic, Spider-Man's agility, and Tony's technological ingenuity are choreographed with precision. The team comes agonizingly close to defeating Thanos, with Mantis subduing him momentarily. However, when Star-Lord succumbs to his emotions upon learning of Gamera's death, their chance slips away. This moment is a gut punch, highlighting the fallibility of even the most determined heroes. As Thanos acquires the Time Stone from Doctor Strange, the gravity of the situation deepens. Strange's cryptic words to Tony, "This was the only way," add an air of inevitability to the unfolding tragedy. It's a line that lingers, its full weight not yet apparent but heavy with foreboding. The film's climax arrives in Wakanda, where the final battle erupts in full force. The scale of this confrontation is immense, with armies clashing in a spectacle of chaos and heroism. The Avengers and Wakandan warriors fight valiantly to protect Vision and the Mind Stone, showcasing their courage and resilience. The arrival of Thor, wielding Stormbreaker, is a moment of pure cinematic triumph. His thunderous entrance shifts the tide of battle, providing a fleeting sense of hope. The audience is reminded of the sheer power and determination of these heroes, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Yet, the hope is short-lived. Thanos' arrival in Wakanda marks the beginning of the end. He tears through the heroes with an unrelenting force, his singular goal driving him forward. Wanda's heart-wrenching decision to destroy the Mind Stone, and Vision along with it, is a testament to her love and sacrifice. The moment is bittersweet. Her actions succeed in destroying the stone, but Thanos uses the Time Stone to reverse her efforts. The resurrection and subsequent death of Vision at Thanos' hands is one of the film's most devastating moments, underscoring the futility of their struggle against such absolute power. As Thanos completes the Infinity Gauntlet, Thor delivers a near-fatal blow, striking him with Stormbreaker. However, Thor's failure to aim for the head allows Thanos to snap his fingers, unleashing the full force of his plan. The silence that follows is deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos of the battle. One by one, heroes begin to disintegrate, their lives reduced to ash in a moment of unimaginable loss. The film's willingness to kill off beloved characters is both shocking and bold, leaving the audience reeling. The second half of Infinity War is a masterful blend of action, emotion, and narrative depth. It explores themes of sacrifice, failure, and the consequences of unchecked power. Each character's arc is woven into the larger tapestry of the story, creating a sense of interconnectedness that amplifies the impact of their individual journeys. The pacing is relentless, yet the film takes its time to delve into the emotional core of its story, ensuring that every moment resonates. The cinematography and visual effects in the second half are nothing short of spectacular. The alien landscapes of Titan and the lush beauty of Wakanda serve as contrasting backdrops for the battles, enhancing the film's epic scale. The use of color and lighting adds to the mood, from the vibrant energy of the battles to the muted tones of the snap's aftermath. The resolution or lack thereof is a bold choice that subverts expectations. By ending on such a somber note, Infinity War breaks free from the traditional superhero narrative. It's a film that dares to challenge its audience, leaving them with a sense of loss and uncertainty. The final image of Thanos, watching the sunset in quiet satisfaction, is both haunting and poetic. It's a stark reminder that this is not the end of the story but a turning point, setting the stage for the epic conclusion in Avengers: Endgame. In its second half, Infinity War transcends its genre, delivering a story that is as thought-provoking as it is thrilling. It's a testament to the power of storytelling and the emotional depth that can be achieved when characters are allowed to fail, grow, and confront their greatest fears. The film leaves an indelible mark, not just on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but on cinema as a whole, proving that even in a world of gods, monsters, and superheroes, it is the humanity of the characters that truly resonates. The making of Avengers: Infinity War was an unprecedented feat in filmmaking, and as with any monumental cinematic endeavor, The behind-the-scenes stories and trivia are as fascinating as the movie itself. What went on behind the cameras during the creation of this colossal crossover event is a tale brimming with unexpected occurrences, quirky decisions, and strange, delightful facts that add yet another layer of intrigue to the film. One of the strangest aspects of Infinity War was the secrecy surrounding its production. Marvel Studios took extraordinary measures to keep plot details under wraps, even from the cast. For many actors, the script was delivered in fragments, giving them only enough context to perform their scenes. Tom Holland, known for his propensity to let spoilers slip, was reportedly given a fake script. He filmed scenes without knowing the actual context or outcome, leading to some amusing misunderstandings during interviews. In one instance, he thought he was fighting a giant snake rather than Thanos' monstrous children. The Russo brothers, who directed the film, went a step further in their quest for secrecy by distributing fake endings to the cast. Mark Ruffalo famously recalled reading a script where the Hulk and Black Widow ran away together, believing it to be the true finale. Even during the climactic snap, the actors only knew their characters would disappear moments before filming. The genuine surprise and heartbreak you see on screen are partly due to this real-time revelation. The scale of Infinity War brought unique challenges, one of which was the coordination of its massive ensemble cast. Scheduling conflicts led to some innovative filming techniques, including stand-ins and green screen wizardry. For the climactic battle in Wakanda, many scenes were filmed with only a fraction of the actors present. Chris Evans, Captain America, and Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, filmed their portions weeks apart, with seamless editing making it appear as though they were fighting side by side. Another surprising fact about the Wakanda battle is the intricate planning that went into portraying the alien outriders. The CGI artists worked tirelessly to create creatures that felt both menacing and alien while remaining grounded in the context of the Marvel Universe. The extras on set were often equipped with foam props and elaborate motion capture suits, bringing an unexpected layer of humor to the intense battle scenes. Imagine the heroes charging toward a field of people flailing their arms in green spandex. Quite a contrast to the epic showdown scene on screen. Josh Brolin's portrayal of Thanos is another remarkable element of the film's production. Unlike many motion capture performances, Brolin was present on set for almost every scene, wearing a special suit with a rig that extended above his head to represent Thanos' height. This setup allowed the actors to maintain eye contact with Thanos while delivering their lines, creating a more authentic dynamic. Interestingly, Brolin's performance as the Mad Titan was so compelling that many cast members found themselves momentarily sympathizing with his twisted ideology during filming. The film's dialogue underwent constant revisions, sometimes on the day of shooting. Robert Downey Jr., a veteran of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, often improvised his lines, adding a layer of spontaneity to Tony Stark's quips. In the scene where Tony dubs Ebony Maw Squidward, the line was a last-minute addition, instantly becoming a fan favorite. This improvisational approach extended to the dynamic between Spider-Man and Iron Man Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr.'s real-life mentor-student relationship mirrored their on-screen chemistry, lending authenticity to their interactions. One of the most unexpected production hurdles came during the filming of Thor's scenes. Chris Hemsworth was required to undergo intense physical training to maintain Thor's muscular physique, but he had an unusual challenge, balancing his workout routine with eating endless quantities of food. Hemsworth later joked that consuming so many calories became more exhausting than the workouts themselves. Despite this, his dedication paid off, as his transformation into the God of Thunder was one of the most visually striking elements of the film. On a lighter note, the Guardians of the Galaxy brought their unique flair to the set. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Zoe Saldana, Gamora, and the rest of the Guardians cast were known for their offbeat humor, often lightening the mood during grueling shoots. Pratt's habit of breaking into dance, even during intense scenes, became a running joke. There's a story about him attempting to teach Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch the Star-Lord shuffle, much to their amusement. One of the most challenging scenes to shoot was the fight on Titan. With multiple characters engaging in complex action choreography, the sequence required extensive pre-visualization and countless hours of rehearsal. The actors had to imagine their surroundings while battling Thanos, as most of the environment and effects were added in post-production. Josh Brolin's portrayal of Thanos in these scenes was especially demanding, as he had to convey emotion and menace through layers of digital augmentation. The time and effort that went into crafting Doctor Strange's magical spells also deserve mention. Benedict Cumberbatch practiced intricate hand movements for weeks to ensure authenticity. A professional choreographer was brought in to design these movements, blending martial arts and mystical gestures into a unique visual language. Beyond the on-set antics and technical challenges, the film also boasts some fascinating trivia. For instance, Infinity War marked the first time the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy shared the screen, a milestone celebrated with an elaborate cake featuring both teams. The blending of their respective musical scores by composer Alan Silvestri was another subtle but significant achievement. Silvestri worked to merge the Avengers' heroic theme with the Guardians' quirky tunes, creating a soundtrack that reflected the film's diverse ensemble. The Russo brothers also inserted several Easter eggs for eagle-eyed fans. One of the most intriguing is the appearance of Tobias Funk from Arrested Development in The Collector's Lair, a nod to the Russos' work on the sitcom. Additionally, the film pays homage to Marvel Comics' rich history, with visual cues and dialogue inspired by classic storylines. The scene where Thanos throws a moon at the heroes is a direct reference to a comic panel, delighting longtime fans. As the film's release approached, Marvel launched an ingenious marketing campaign to build anticipation while maintaining secrecy. The hashtag Thanos demands your silence encouraged fans to avoid spoilers, fostering a sense of community among viewers. The campaign succeeded in preserving the film's surprises, allowing audiences worldwide to experience the shocking twist together. Avengers. Infinity War is not just a film. It's a cultural phenomenon, and the stories behind its creation are as epic as the story it tells. From the lengths Marvel went to maintain secrecy to the camaraderie among its cast and crew, every aspect of the production reflects the passion and dedication that brought this monumental movie to life. These strange and delightful facts only enhance the appreciation for a film that redefined the superhero genre, proving that the magic of cinema often begins behind the scenes. Avengers. Infinity War is an extraordinary tale of heroism, sacrifice, and devastation, blending dazzling action with deeply emotional beats that have left audiences captivated. To truly understand its impact, it's essential to dissect the critical events of the movie, exploring how these moments contribute to the overarching narrative and the emotional resonance they create. The story's opening scene sets the tone for the rest of the film, establishing Thanos as a formidable and unrelenting antagonist. On the Asgardian refugee ship, we witness the aftermath of Thanos' brutal assault, where he has already decimated half the population. The deaths of Heimdall and Loki are not just shocking, but also thematically significant. Loki's arc comes full circle as he dies attempting to save Thor, redeeming himself after years of betrayal. This moment solidifies Thanos' dominance and lays bare the stakes. This is not a battle the heroes can win easily. Critics have often lauded this opening for its audacity, immediately shattering any expectations of a triumphant hero's tale and plunging viewers into despair. The scene transitions to Earth, where the Avengers must prepare for the incoming threat. The arrival of Thanos' Black Order in New York City is a masterclass in tension building. Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, and Bruce Banner, three vastly different personalities, are forced to unite under dire circumstances. The scene where Tony and Strange clash over leadership and strategy highlights their conflicting approaches to heroism. Tony's pragmatism versus Strange's adherence to fate and the bigger picture. This dynamic foreshadows the critical decisions both characters will make later in the story. From a thematic perspective, it also reflects the broader narrative of individuals learning to set aside their differences to combat a greater evil. One of the film's most pivotal sequences unfolds on Titan, where a splintered group of Avengers and Guardians confront Thanos. The Titan battle is more than just a visually spectacular action sequence. It's a crucial turning point that encapsulates the film's themes of sacrifice and failure. Each hero contributes uniquely to the fight, reflecting their growth and personalities. Peter Quill's emotional outburst, which ultimately cost the team their chance to remove the Infinity Gauntlet, is a controversial moment that sparked widespread debate. While some viewed Quill's actions as reckless, others argued it was a deeply human response to grief, reinforcing the film's message that even heroes are fallible. Critically, this scene also delves into Thanos' motivations. Through his dialogue with Doctor Strange, we gain insight into his ideology. Thanos' belief that his actions are merciful and necessary positions him as a morally complex villain, rather than a one-dimensional tyrant. This depth elevates the film, prompting audiences to grapple with uncomfortable questions about morality and sacrifice. Does the end justify the means? Can one individual claim the right to determine the fate of the universe? These philosophical undertones have been a focal point for critics, who commend the Russo brothers for crafting a narrative that challenges traditional notions of heroism and villainy. On Wakanda, the stakes reach a fever pitch as the Avengers rally to protect Vision and the Mind Stone. The battle showcases a breathtaking blend of technology and tradition, with Wakandan warriors fighting alongside the Avengers. This sequence is not just an epic confrontation, but also a celebration of Wakanda's resilience and innovation. The inclusion of characters like Okoye and Shuri adds layers to the narrative, emphasizing that heroism comes in many forms. Critics have praised the Wakanda battle for its dynamic choreography and emotional weight, particularly as it juxtaposes hope with impending doom. Thor's arrival in Wakanda with Stormbreaker is one of the film's most triumphant moments. His entrance, accompanied by a rousing musical score, temporarily shifts the tone from despair to hope. However, this moment of exhilaration is short-lived, as it is quickly followed by Thanos' arrival. The juxtaposition of Thor's power against Thanos' inevitability underscores one of the film's central themes. Even the mightiest heroes can falter in the face of overwhelming odds. Perhaps the most talked-about event in Infinity War is the Snap, where Thanos achieves his goal of erasing half of all life in the universe. This moment is both shocking and narratively profound, subverting the traditional superhero trope of the heroes triumphing against all odds. The visual and emotional impact of watching beloved characters disintegrate into dust is unparalleled, leaving audiences stunned and heartbroken. Critics have hailed this as one of the boldest endings in cinematic history, a conclusion that dares to embrace loss and uncertainty rather than resolution. Thematically, the Snap represents the culmination of the film's exploration of sacrifice. Thanos sacrifices his daughter, Gamora, in a gut-wrenching scene to obtain the Soul Stone. The emotional weight of this act is heightened by Gamora's defiance, as she refuses to accept her father's twisted love. Her death is a turning point, stripping away any lingering ambiguity about Thanos' character. While his motivations may be understandable, his methods reveal his inherent ruthlessness. Gamora's demise also deepens the narrative, as it sets up emotional stakes for the Guardians and the Avengers in the sequel. The film's pacing and narrative structure have been the subject of extensive critical analysis. Unlike traditional ensemble films, Infinity War weaves multiple storylines seamlessly, giving each character their moment to shine without detracting from the central narrative. The decision to split the Avengers across different locations, Earth, Titan, and space, enhances the sense of scale and urgency. Critics have noted that this approach not only heightens the drama, but also allows for richer character development, as smaller groups of heroes interact in meaningful ways. One of the most striking aspects of Infinity War is its ability to balance spectacle with intimacy. Amidst the larger-than-life battles and cosmic stakes, the film never loses sight of its characters' humanity. Moments like Vision and Wanda's heartfelt conversation, Rocket's reluctant empathy for Thor, and Tony's desperate attempt to protect Peter Parker ground the narrative, reminding viewers of what's at stake. These quieter scenes resonate deeply, providing emotional anchors in a story of unimaginable scale. From a critical perspective, Infinity War is a study in contrasts. It juxtaposes hope with despair, love with loss, and unity with division. The film's structure mirrors these dualities, alternating between moments of triumph and tragedy. This balance is what makes the story so compelling, as it keeps audiences emotionally engaged while building toward its devastating climax. The film's reception has been overwhelmingly positive, with critics and audiences alike praising its ambitious storytelling and emotional depth. However, it has also sparked debate about the ethics of its central conflict. Thanos' argument that the universe's resources are finite and must be preserved has drawn comparisons to real-world discussions about overpopulation and sustainability. While the film does not condone his methods, it forces viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about humanity's impact on the world. This willingness to engage with complex issues has earned Infinity War a reputation as more than just a blockbuster. It is a cultural touchstone that reflects the anxieties of its time. In summary, Avengers: Infinity War is a film defined by its critical events and the emotional resonance they create. From the harrowing opening to the shocking conclusion, every moment is meticulously crafted to challenge, entertain, and move audiences. Its exploration of sacrifice, morality, and the fragility of hope elevates it beyond a traditional superhero movie, making it a landmark in cinematic history. Through its bold choices and poignant storytelling, Infinity War leaves an indelible mark, proving that even in a universe of gods and heroes, it is the human elements that truly shine. The making of Avengers: Infinity War was as monumental and ambitious as the film itself. Behind the larger-than-life battles and emotional arcs lies a production process filled with challenges, creativity, and fascinating stories that reflect the sheer magnitude of this cinematic masterpiece. From the intricacies of blending CGI with live action to the camaraderie on set, the journey of bringing this film to life was nothing short of extraordinary. At the heart of the production was the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe, who had already proven their mettle with Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Civil War. Steering a project of this scale, which brought together more than 60 characters from across the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, required a meticulous blend of vision, planning, and adaptability. The script itself was a daunting task. Writers Christopher Markus and Stephen McFeely spent months refining the story to ensure every character had a moment to shine without detracting from the central narrative. Their collaborative dynamic with the directors created an environment where creativity thrived, allowing for improvisation and fine-tuning even during filming. One of the most challenging aspects of the production was balancing the massive ensemble cast. Scheduling conflicts were inevitable, with actors like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, and Scarlett Johansson juggling multiple projects. The production team had to devise a shooting schedule that could accommodate the varied availability of the stars. This often meant filming out of sequence, requiring actors to emotionally ground themselves in scenes that might occur later in the story. For instance, the final showdown in Wakanda was shot over several weeks, with actors rotating in and out based on their schedules. The visual effects for Infinity War were groundbreaking, with nearly every frame involving some level of CGI. Thanos, portrayed by Josh Brolin, was entirely computer-generated using performance capture technology. Brolin wore a motion capture suit with a headpiece that had cameras tracking his facial expressions. This allowed the animators to translate his nuanced performance into the digital creation of Thanos. The result was a villain who felt both larger than life and deeply human, a testament to the collaboration between Brolin and the visual effects team. One amusing anecdote from the set involved the filming of the Titan battle. Tom Holland, known for his tendency to inadvertently reveal spoilers, was reportedly given a script with fake details to prevent leaks. In one instance, Holland believed he was fighting a giant snake, only to learn later that it was Thanos himself. This playful deception became a running joke among the cast and crew, highlighting the lengths the production went to protect the film's secrets. The Wakanda battle posed its own unique set of challenges. Filmed in Georgia, the production team had to recreate the lush African landscapes, using a combination of practical sets and digital enhancements. The fight choreography was meticulously planned to showcase the cultural heritage of Wakanda, blending traditional African combat techniques with advanced technology. The involvement of the Black Panther cast, including Denai Gurira and Winston Duke, added authenticity and depth to these scenes. Behind the scenes, the camaraderie among the actors was palpable, with Gurira often leading the group in chants and songs to maintain the energy during long shooting days. One of the most surprising behind-the-scenes facts is how much of the dialogue was improvised. Robert Downey Jr., known for his quick wit, often added his own flair to Tony Stark's lines. His dynamic with Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, led to several unscripted moments that made it into the final cut. The scene where Tony refers to Strange as the Wizard was born out of Downey's spontaneous humor, earning laughs from the crew and ultimately adding a layer of levity to the tense narrative. The Soul Stone sequence, where Thanos sacrifices Gamora, was one of the most emotionally taxing scenes to film. Zoe Saldana and Josh Brolin worked closely with the directors to capture the complexity of the moment. Saldana later shared how the scene required her to tap into deep emotional reserves, as Gamora's defiance and heartbreak were central to the story. For Brolin, portraying Thanos' twisted sense of love added a layer of vulnerability to his otherwise imposing character. The stark orange tones of the scene, achieved through a combination of practical lighting and post-production effects, created an otherworldly yet intimate atmosphere that amplified its emotional impact. The film score, composed by Alan Silvestri, played a crucial role in shaping the movie's tone. Silvestri, who had previously worked on the Avengers 2012, brought a sense of continuity while also introducing new motifs to reflect the darker themes of Infinity War. The haunting notes that accompanied the snap became instantly iconic, capturing the despair and finality of Thanos' actions. Silvestri collaborated closely with the Russo brothers to ensure the music seamlessly integrated with the visuals, enhancing the emotional weight of pivotal scenes. Among the lighter moments on set was the relationship between the actors portraying the Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista were often seen joking around between takes, bringing a sense of fun to the otherwise intense production. Pratt, in particular, took on the role of a prankster, reportedly sneaking fake snakes into Karen Gillan's trailer. These moments of levity not only strengthened the cast's bond, but also translated into the chemistry seen on screen. The secrecy surrounding the film's ending was another fascinating aspect of production. To prevent leaks, the Russo brothers implemented a need-to-know policy, where only a select few had access to the full script. Even the actors were kept in the dark about the fate of their characters. Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, later revealed that she only learned about her character's dusting moments before filming the scene. This approach ensured that the cast reactions were genuine, adding authenticity to the film's emotional climax. Creating the snap itself was a technical marvel. The visual effects team worked tirelessly to design the disintegration effect, experimenting with different techniques to achieve the perfect balance between beauty and tragedy. Each character's dusting was carefully choreographed to reflect their personality. For example, Spider-Man's lingering disintegration, paired with his heartfelt plea to Tony, emphasizes youth and fear, making it one of the most gut-wrenching moments of the film. The production also involved an unprecedented level of coordination with other MCU projects. Since Infinity War was released shortly after Black Panther, the Russo brothers worked closely with Ryan Coogler to ensure consistency in the portrayal of Wakanda and its characters. This collaborative effort extended to future projects as well, as the events of Infinity War directly influenced the narratives of films like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel. As filming wrapped, the cast and crew reflected on the monumental journey they had undertaken. For many, Infinity War represented not just a culmination of the MCU's decade-long storytelling, but also a personal milestone. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, described the experience as bittersweet, noting that while it was exciting to be part of such a groundbreaking project, it also marked the beginning of the end for some characters. In the end, the making of Avengers, Infinity War was as epic and intricate as the story it told. Through a combination of technical innovation, creative vision, and sheer dedication, the filmmakers crafted a cinematic experience that resonated with audiences worldwide. The behind-the-scenes stories and fun facts only add to the film's legacy, offering a glimpse into the passion and effort that went into creating this iconic chapter in the MCU. The settings and cinematic elements of Avengers, Infinity War played a monumental role in elevating the movie into a visually and emotionally immersive experience. From the vast reaches of outer space to the vibrancy of Wakanda, the film settings were more than just backdrops. They were integral to the storytelling. Coupled with masterful cinematography, innovative visual effects, and purposeful use of lighting and sound, these elements wove a tapestry of mood and tone that enriched the film's narrative. The film opens in the aftermath of an unseen massacre aboard the Asgardian ship. The setting here is dark and claustrophobic, with the remnants of destruction casting a foreboding atmosphere. The cinematic choice to begin in such devastation sets the tone for the rest of the movie. The lighting is dim, dominated by the eerie glow of flickering flames and the cold blue of space, emphasizing the hopelessness of the scene. Thanos' imposing presence is amplified by the contrast between the shadowy surroundings and the stark illumination of his towering figure. This choice immediately communicates the stakes and the overwhelming power of the antagonist. As the story progresses, Earth becomes a focal point, but even here, the settings shift between the familiar and the extraordinary. The streets of New York are a bustling, chaotic stage for the first major confrontation, where Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Spider-Man face off against Thanos' Black Order. The urban environment, filled with towering skyscrapers and speeding cars, provides a striking contrast to the supernatural elements of the battle. The cinematography captures this juxtaposition beautifully, with sweeping shots of the city interspersed with dynamic close-ups of spells and alien weapons. The transition to outer space marks a shift not only in setting but also in tone. The Guardians of the Galaxy bring their distinct flavor of humor and irreverence, reflected in their vibrant and otherworldly environments. The Milano, their spaceship, is a kaleidoscope of colors, with its retro-futuristic design echoing the group's quirky personalities. Contrasted with the bleakness of the Asgardian ship or the grittiness of Earth, these settings remind the audience of the diverse scope of the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU. One of the most visually striking settings is Vormir, the planet where the Soul Stone is kept. Its barren, windswept landscape, dominated by shades of orange and brown, creates an atmosphere of solemnity and mystery. The use of wide-angle shots emphasizes the desolation and vastness of the terrain, reflecting the emotional weight of the events that unfold there. The haunting presence of Red Skull, coupled with the chilling silence that permeates the scene, adds an eerie undertone, making Vormir a pivotal location in both plot and theme. Titan, Thanos' home planet, is another setting that speaks volumes about his character and motivations. The desolate, crumbling remains of a once thriving civilization mirror Thanos' personal tragedy and his justification for his actions. The cinematography here employs stark contrast, with the ruins bathed in muted, dusty tones. During the battle on Titan, the setting becomes a visual playground for the filmmakers. The fragmented, floating debris serves as both a tactical advantage and a storytelling tool, reflecting the chaos and unpredictability of the conflict. The dynamic camera angles and fluid transitions enhance the intensity of the fight, making it one of the most memorable sequences in the film. Wakanda, a setting introduced in Black Panther, is brought to life once again with stunning detail and cultural richness. The lush landscapes, from rolling green hills to dense forests, serve as a stark contrast to the technological marvels of the Wakandan capital. This blend of nature and advanced technology is a testament to the film's ability to integrate visual elements with thematic depth. The climactic battle in Wakanda is framed by these surroundings, with the golden glow of the setting sun adding a touch of poignancy to the intense action. The Wakandan warriors, adorned in traditional garb, showcase a sense of unity and pride that elevates the emotional stakes of the scene. The cinematography throughout Infinity War is nothing short of masterful. Cinematographer Trent Opolak, who had previously worked with the Russo brothers on Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Civil War, brought a keen eye for detail and a deep understanding of the MCU's visual language. The use of wide-angle shots to capture the grandeur of the settings, combined with intimate close-ups during emotional moments, creates a balance that keeps the audience engaged. The seamless transitions between different locations, achieved through clever editing and visual cues, prevent the film from feeling disjointed despite its sprawling narrative. Lighting also plays a crucial role in shaping the film's mood. Each setting has its own distinct palette, from the warm, earthy tones of Vormir to the cool, metallic hues of Titan. The use of natural light in Wakanda contrasts with the artificial, often harsh lighting of the spaceship interiors, emphasizing the dichotomy between organic and mechanical. In moments of tension or despair, the lighting becomes dimmer and more focused, drawing attention to the characters' faces and their emotional states. Sound design and music further enhance the cinematic experience. Alan Silvestri's score is a masterclass in storytelling through music. The haunting, almost melancholic theme associated with Thanos adds a layer of complexity to his character, making him more than just a villain. The triumphant fanfare that accompanies the Avengers' appearances is contrasted with the ominous tones that signal the arrival of the Black Order. This interplay of musical motifs creates an auditory narrative that complements the visual storytelling. The battle sequences are elevated by the use of sound. The clanging of metal, the hum of energy weapons, and the explosive impact of blows are meticulously crafted to immerse the audience in the action. In quieter moments, such as the scenes on Vormir or during Thanos' reflective monologues, the absence of sound becomes a tool in itself, creating an atmosphere of tension and introspection. The actors also spent a lot of time rehearsing their fight scenes and stunts. We had stunt coordinators who were amazing, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of us trying to keep up with the choreography, Johansson said, adding that the actors often bonded over their shared physical training. It was one of the toughest experiences, but also one of the most fun, she said. The visual effects in Infinity War deserve special mention. With over 2,700 VFX shots, the film pushed the boundaries of what was possible in CGI. Thanos, a fully digital character, is a testament to the advancements in motion capture technology. The realism of his facial expressions and movements is a result of painstaking work by the visual effects team, who collaborated closely with Josh Brolin to ensure his performance was translated faithfully. The interplay between practical effects and CGI also adds to the film's authenticity. The Wakandan battlefield, for example, was a combination of real locations and digital enhancements. The production team built practical sets for close-up shots, while the vast armies and sprawling landscapes were created using computer-generated imagery. This blend of real and digital elements ensures that the settings feel tangible and grounded, even in the most fantastical scenarios. Another noteworthy aspect is the use of color grading. The film's palette shifts depending on the tone and setting of each scene. The vibrant colors of the Guardians sequences reflect their eccentric personalities, while the muted tones of Titan and Vormir underscore the gravity of the events taking place there. This deliberate use of color not only enhances the visual appeal of the film, but also reinforces its emotional and thematic resonance. In the end, the settings and cinematic elements of Avengers Infinity War are a testament to the filmmaker's ability to create a cohesive and immersive world. Each location, from the bustling streets of New York to the alien landscapes of Titan and Vormir, serves a purpose beyond aesthetics, contributing to the story's depth and emotional impact. Coupled with stunning cinematography, innovative visual effects, and masterful sound design, these elements come together to create a cinematic experience that is as engaging as it is unforgettable. Filming Avengers, Infinity War was an experience unlike any other in the history of cinema. As the culmination of over a decade of interconnected films, the making of the movie came with immense expectations, high stakes, and an incredibly large production team. Behind the scenes, there were numerous stories of collaboration, surprises, challenges, and, of course, plenty of fun moments. The entire process was a massive undertaking, one that required the seamless blending of technology, acting, and direction to deliver the film's powerful emotional and visual impact. The first challenge the team faced was the sheer scale of the movie. Avengers. Infinity War brought together nearly every major character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, and required a massive effort to coordinate the schedules of so many A-list actors. There were moments where the sheer number of stars involved made for some interesting dynamics behind the scenes. The Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony, were tasked with wrangling the enormous cast, which included Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, and many more. Yet, despite the overwhelming logistics, the cast found ways to come together and create a positive, collaborative atmosphere. Robert Downey Jr., who had played Iron Man since the very first MCU film, was, as always, a presence on set. Known for his playful nature, Downey frequently kept the cast and crew entertained between takes. The light-hearted atmosphere he fostered helped break up the tension and exhaustion that inevitably came with the long hours of filming. There were numerous stories of Downey improvising lines or ad-libbing during scenes, often bringing unexpected humor to otherwise intense moments. One particular story that surfaced involved Downey turning an intense action sequence into a more comical moment by improvising a bit of dialogue with Mark Ruffalo, whose character, Bruce Banner, has an unusual relationship with the Hulk. The exchange was so funny that it made it into the final cut of the film, adding an extra layer of levity to the high-stakes scenes. Despite the humor, the filming process was intense. The Russo brothers pushed the cast and crew to their limits, demanding nothing less than perfection. One of the most challenging aspects of the shoot was the use of visual effects, particularly with characters like Thanos, whose performance relied heavily on motion capture. Josh Brolin, who portrayed Thanos, spent hours in a motion capture suit, which looked nothing like the final product. He would have to act out scenes in a completely blank room, with dots on his face and sensors on his body to track his movements. For Brolin, it was a strange and challenging experience, but he embraced it fully. His commitment to his character paid off, as the end result was a villain that felt as real and complex as any human character. But Brolin's work was just one part of the extensive visual effects required for the film. The team at ILM Industrial Light and Magic, led by visual effects supervisor Yannick Sers, worked tirelessly to bring the fantastical world of Infinity War to life. One of the most difficult aspects of the film's production was Thanos' movements, expressions, and interactions with the other characters. For example, in the scenes where Thanos is conversing with his daughter, Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, the VFX team had to create intricate facial expressions that felt nuanced and real. Brolin's performance was captured through motion capture technology, but the VFX team still had to render the character's face and body movements in a way that felt natural and lifelike. The challenge was immense, and the technology was pushed to its limits to ensure that Thanos' emotional journey could be conveyed. One of the funnier behind-the-scenes moments happened when the crew found themselves needing to create Thanos' signature snap. In the comics, Thanos' snap is a simple gesture, but for the film, it was crucial to make it visually striking. After many attempts to find the right look, the team settled on a digital effect that turned the snap into an iconic and visually stunning moment. To prepare for it, the crew experimented with various hand gestures and effects in order to create the perfect visual representation of Thanos' power. It took several months of trial and error to get the snap just right, but once it was done, it became one of the most memorable scenes in the entire film. Another challenge the filmmakers faced was creating the battle scenes, particularly the climactic Wakanda battle, which involved numerous visual effects, practical stunts, and intricate choreography. This sequence was one of the largest and most complex action scenes in MCU history. It involved hundreds of extras, dozens of stunt performers, and an array of digital creatures, including the massive alien armies. The team had to coordinate the movements of all these elements to ensure a cohesive, thrilling battle. The use of green screens was extensive during the battle, and actors often had to react to imaginary creatures or explosions that would be added later in post-production. Despite this, the cast and crew reported a sense of camaraderie on set, with everyone working tirelessly to create the scene. The energy and excitement of filming the battle carried over into the final product, making it one of the most thrilling sequences in the film. The Wakanda scenes also brought with them some unique logistical challenges. Much of the film was shot on location, but the battle scenes required large sets to be built. The production crew had to create the dense, futuristic landscape of Wakanda, which involved not only elaborate sets but also cutting-edge visual effects to make the environment feel both lush and technologically advanced. The combination of practical and digital work brought the world of Wakanda to life in a way that felt tangible, despite its otherworldly elements. The filmmakers were meticulous in their attention to detail, ensuring that every aspect of the setting, from the vast fields to the high-tech fortifications, contributed to the overall narrative. Even with all the technology at their disposal, one of the most impressive aspects of Infinity War was the way it blended practical effects with CGI. For example, the scenes involving the various characters' costumes and weapons often required practical work to create realistic, functional pieces. Captain America's shield, for example, was a high-quality prop that had to be used in both close-up scenes and during the massive fight sequences. Similarly, the filmmakers had to ensure that props like Thor's hammer and the Infinity Gauntlet looked as realistic as possible. The gauntlet, in particular, was a major challenge. The crew had to make several versions of it, each with its own set of mechanics to allow for the proper movements and interactions with Thanos' fingers during key scenes. The process was incredibly time-consuming, but the end result was a gauntlet that had a significant presence on screen and conveyed the immense power Thanos wielded. The filmmaking process was also marked by some surprising moments of spontaneity. As with most major productions, improvisation often found its way into the film. One of the standout moments of improvisation happened during the scene between the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. Chris Hemsworth, who played Thor, had spent a lot of time in character already, and when he was asked to interact with the Guardians, the chemistry between the actors was undeniable. The improvisation during their exchanges added a layer of humor to the scene that felt completely natural, and it ended up becoming one of the film's fan-favorite moments. While there was no shortage of fun on set, the production of Infinity War was also filled with long days and immense pressure. Filming this film was a massive endeavor, with multiple filming locations across the globe and a shooting schedule that stretched for months. The final product was a result of years of hard work from everyone involved, including the producers, directors, actors, VFX teams, costume designers, and stunt coordinators. It was a testament to the collaborative spirit of the crew that the film was able to come together in such a seamless way, blending technical expertise with emotional storytelling. From the complexities of motion capture to the intricacies of large-scale battle scenes, the making of Infinity War was a monumental challenge that ultimately resulted in a cinematic achievement. The behind-the-scenes insights from the production of Avengers, Infinity War revealed not only the scale of the project, but also the passion and creativity of the people who worked on it. Every element of the film, from the visual effects to the performances, was crafted with care and attention to detail. The process was filled with unexpected surprises, collaborative efforts, and overcoming obstacles. The end result was a movie that resonated with audiences on a global scale, and the behind-the-scenes stories only add to the magic of Infinity War, making it clear just how much effort went into bringing the MCU's most ambitious crossover event to life. Avengers: Infinity War is not just a spectacle of superhero battles and jaw-dropping visual effects. It also explores profound themes that resonate with the human experience. The film's complexity lies in its ability to blend action and spectacle with emotional depth and philosophical underpinnings. These themes and the symbolism woven into the film add layers of meaning, turning the movie into more than just a battle between good and evil. The themes examined in Infinity War touch on sacrifice, the nature of power, and the question of fate, while the symbolism used throughout the film enhances these ideas, providing a richer experience for the audience. At its core, One of the most prominent themes in Infinity War is the idea of sacrifice. This theme runs through the entire narrative, affecting nearly every major character in the movie. The Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and other characters all grapple with the concept of what they are willing to give up in order to protect the universe. In the face of Thanos' apocalyptic goals, the characters are forced to confront what they value most and what they're willing to lose. This theme is most poignantly explored through the relationships between characters. Each hero has their own vision of what they are willing to sacrifice for the greater good, and the movie doesn't shy away from showing the emotional toll of these decisions. One of the most significant sacrifices in the film is made by Vision. The character, who represents the union of artificial intelligence and human emotion, must come to terms with the idea that his existence may need to end in order to stop Thanos from obtaining the Mind Stone. Vision's sacrifice is a difficult one, and his love for Wanda, Scarlet Witch, makes it even harder. Throughout the film, Vision and Wanda's relationship is a symbol of the sacrifices that come with love, and their eventual separation reflects the broader theme of loss. Vision's death, albeit a temporary one, serves as a turning point in the story, reminding the audience of the cost of heroism and the price that must sometimes be paid in order to protect those we care about. Another character whose journey is heavily defined by sacrifice is Thor. The god of thunder's path in Infinity War is one of loss and grief. Early in the film, Thor loses his home and his people, with Asgard destroyed at the end of Thor Ragnarok. His desire for revenge against Thanos pushes him to seek out a powerful weapon, the Stormbreaker axe, but in doing so, he is forced to face his inner demons and come to terms with the burden of leadership. Thor's narrative arc reflects the theme of sacrifice, not just on a personal level, but on a cosmic scale, as his actions are driven by a desire to prevent even greater loss for the universe. The theme of power is equally pervasive throughout the movie, and Thanos, the villain, serves as the embodiment of this theme. Unlike most typical villains in superhero films, Thanos is not driven by personal ambition or a desire for riches. His quest is to balance the universe by wiping out half of all life, which he believes will restore order and prevent overpopulation. Thanos sees himself as the ultimate arbiter of balance, convinced that by eliminating half of all life, he will create a more sustainable universe. This perception of power is both philosophical and terrifying. Thanos represents a form of godlike power that allows him to reshape the universe in his own image, and his belief in his own righteousness makes him a formidable opponent for the Avengers. The symbolism of the Infinity Stones also plays into the theme of power. Each of the 6 stones, mind, power, space, reality, time, and soul, represents an aspect of the universe, and when combined in the Infinity Gauntlet, they give their wielder godlike control over reality itself. These stones, particularly when wielded by Thanos, symbolize the unchecked potential for power that can destroy or reshape existence. The gauntlet, as a symbol, represents the dangerous allure of absolute power and the temptation to use it to reshape the world according to one's vision. Thanos, in his pursuit of the stones, mirrors the greed and hubris of those who seek ultimate power, and his struggle is an exploration of the consequences of such desires. Fate and destiny are other central themes that permeate the plot of Infinity War. The movie often reflects on the inevitability of certain events and the sense that the characters are struggling against forces beyond their control. For example, Thanos believes that he is destined to bring balance to the universe, and that his actions, however cruel, are inevitable. The characters, particularly the Avengers, seem to be fighting against an unstoppable fate, one that they know they may not be able to avoid. This theme is most powerfully expressed in the moments leading up to the final battle, where the heroes must make desperate decisions, knowing that they might not succeed. Even when they are doing everything they can to prevent Thanos from acquiring the stones, there's a palpable sense of futility. The symbolism of fate is also deeply tied to the Infinity Stones. Each stone has its own symbolic connection to a force that shapes the universe. Time is connected to the past and the future. Reality allows one to alter the fundamental laws of existence. Power is tied to destruction. Mind is linked to thought and intellect. Soul is concerned with the essence of life, and space grants control over the very fabric of the universe. These stones are not just tools for gaining power. They are symbols of the forces that govern the universe. In Thanos' hands, they are not just weapons. They are metaphors for the unstoppable forces of fate and destiny that shape life itself. Unity is another theme that is explored throughout the film, particularly in how the Avengers must come together to defeat a common enemy. The film presents various factions of heroes, the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and other characters, and their attempts to collaborate despite their differences. For much of the movie, the heroes struggle with the challenge of working as a unified team. Each character has their own methods, perspectives, and personalities, and this diversity often leads to conflict. However, as the stakes increase, they begin to understand the necessity of working together. The film's final moments, particularly the post-snap devastation, underscore the importance of unity in the face of overwhelming odds. The Avengers' ultimate failure to stop Thanos speaks to the idea that, no matter how strong or capable they may be, unity alone is not always enough to change the course of fate. Hope and despair are also key elements explored in Infinity War. Despite the Avengers' determination to stop Thanos, the film's ending is one of hopelessness and loss. Thanos' victory is complete when he obtains all the Infinity Stones and uses them to wipe out half of all life in the universe. The ending leaves the heroes and the audience in a state of profound grief, as the once vibrant and confident team is broken. However, this moment of despair is balanced by the knowledge that there is still hope. The film's final scenes, which set the stage for Avengers Endgame, show that the fight is not over, and there is still a possibility for redemption and victory. Thematically, this shift from hope to despair is a reflection of the cyclical nature of life and the emotional toll of struggle and sacrifice. The film leaves the audience questioning what is truly worth fighting for, and whether the cost of victory is worth the price of defeat. The symbolism of the film also extends to the visual motifs that are woven throughout the narrative. The color red, for example, is often associated with Thanos and his actions. From the red glow of the Infinity Stones to the blood-stained aftermath of his snap, the color symbolizes destruction and finality. It also acts as a reminder of the violence and irreversible consequences of Thanos' mission. Similarly, the recurring use of the gauntlet as a central visual motif emphasizes the power and weight of Thanos' decisions. The gauntlet is not just a tool. It is a symbol of his self-righteousness and the immense responsibility that comes with wielding ultimate power. In the case of the Avengers, their symbols, such as Captain America's shield, Iron Man's armor, and Thor's hammer, are all laden with meaning. These symbols represent the heroes' identities and the values they stand for. Captain America's shield, in particular, is a symbol of his unwavering belief in justice and sacrifice, while Iron Man's armor symbolizes Tony Stark's growth from a self-absorbed billionaire to a selfless hero. These iconic objects are not just pieces of equipment. They are extensions of the characters themselves, representing their inner struggles and ideals. In conclusion, the themes and symbolism explored in Avengers Infinity War are integral to the film's narrative and emotional resonance. The movie examines deep questions of power, sacrifice, fate, and unity, while using the Infinity Stones and other visual motifs to amplify these ideas. The character struggles with these themes add layers of meaning to the action, making Infinity War not just a spectacle of superhero battles, but a philosophical meditation on the human experience. Through its exploration of these themes and the symbolism woven throughout the film, Infinity War becomes a story about the cost of heroism, the consequences of unchecked power, and the enduring power of hope. In Avengers Infinity War, the filmmakers employ a wide range of innovative and dynamic filmmaking techniques to bring this complex narrative to life. As the culmination of over a decade of interconnected films, the movie required not only a captivating story, but also exceptional craftsmanship in cinematography, sound design, editing, and visual effects. These techniques are key to creating the immersive experience that Infinity War offers. Through the use of sound, camera work, editing, and visual effects, the film establishes a tone of urgency, tension, and epic scale that engages the audience on an emotional and intellectual level. Cinematography and camera work. The cinematography in Infinity War plays a crucial role in setting the tone and immersing the audience in the film's universe. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the film uses a combination of wide shots, dynamic camera movements, and intimate close-ups to convey the emotional depth of the story and the scale of the battles. One of the key aspects of the film's cinematography is the way it switches between moments of intimate character focus and grand, sweeping action sequences. The film shifts between these two modes to reflect the internal conflict of the characters and the external battle against Thanos. In moments of emotional weight, the camera often lingers on the faces of the characters, using close-up shots to highlight their expressions and convey their feelings of fear, grief, or resolve. Avengers. Infinity War is not just a monumental cinematic event, but also a product of years of planning, collaboration, and creativity among the cast and crew. The behind-the-scenes stories, interviews, and insights from the filmmakers and actors give us a glimpse into the immense dedication and hard work that went into bringing this superhero epic to life. The experiences of the cast and crew, their perspectives on their roles, and the challenges they faced all play a significant part in making Infinity War the film it is, one of the most emotionally charged, visually stunning, and action-packed installments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Insights from the cast. One of the most compelling aspects of Infinity War is the ensemble cast, which brings together dozens of characters from across the MCU. The large number of stars made for an interesting dynamic both on and off-screen, with each actor having their own unique experience of working on such a massive project. From veterans like Robert Downey Jr. to newcomers like Tom Holland, every actor's perspective offers valuable insight into the making of the film. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man/Tony Stark. For Robert Downey Jr., Infinity War was a culmination of a journey that began with Iron Man in 2008. As Tony Stark, he's been a central figure in the MCU, and his arc was always building toward a moment like the one in Infinity War. Downey has been open about how playing Tony Stark over the years has been a transformative experience for him, both as an actor and a person. In interviews, Downey discussed how much he enjoyed the opportunity to explore Tony Stark's vulnerability in Infinity War. What I loved about this film is that it's not just about Tony Stark as a superhero. It's about his relationships and the toll this life has taken on him. He explained, Tony's journey in Infinity War is deeply personal. It's a story of sacrifice, loss, and the consequences of his choices. The stakes are much higher now. The loss of so many lives, and potentially everything, is on his shoulders, Downey said, emphasizing the weight his character feels as he faces the cosmic threat posed by Thanos. Working with the ensemble cast was another aspect that stood out to Downey. You don't get to work with people like this every day. The chemistry we've built over the years is genuine, and it makes every scene feel like an important chapter in our shared story, he added. Downey spoke about the camaraderie among the cast, noting how the actors formed close bonds on set. This connection translated into their performances, making their shared scenes feel authentic and emotionally charged. Chris Hemsworth Thor. Chris Hemsworth, who plays the mighty Thor, also had a significant journey leading up to Infinity War. Having played the character in multiple films, Hemsworth was excited to see where Thor's arc would go next, especially as he faces Thanos and the threat to his homeworld and family. I've always loved playing Thor, but in this film, you really see him push to his limit, Hemsworth remarked. He's lost so much, his father, his brother, and now his entire home. It's a huge turning point for him. Hemsworth noted that the film's darker tone provided a different challenge for him as an actor, as he had to explore a more somber and vulnerable side of the character. Thor's journey in Infinity War is one of grief, determination, and redemption. Hemsworth was especially excited to see how Thor's new weapon, Stormbreaker, would play into the battles ahead. The action sequences were amazing, but what really stood out to me was the emotional depth. There's a lot of pain, a lot of sacrifice, and that's something I think audiences will feel when they watch it, Hemsworth said. He also shared a fun moment from the set when he and the cast had to practice their fight scenes. "It's all fun and games until you're swinging a giant hammer around and accidentally hit someone," he laughed. These behind-the-scenes moments highlight the camaraderie that developed between the cast while filming. Tom Holland, Spider-Man/Peter Parker. Tom Holland, who portrays Peter Parker/Spider-Man, brought a youthful energy and enthusiasm to the film, and his excitement was palpable during interviews. Holland, a relatively new addition to the MCU compared to other actors, felt the weight of joining such an iconic ensemble cast. "It was overwhelming and incredibly exciting. I've watched all of these movies growing up, and now I'm part of them. It's a surreal experience," Holland shared. His character, Spider-Man, has always been known for his humor and lightheartedness, but Infinity War gave him the opportunity to show a more serious and heroic side. Holland was thrilled to dive into the emotional complexity of Peter's character, especially as he faces the overwhelming threat of Thanos. His bond with Tony Stark also deepens in Infinity War, and Holland noted that working with Robert Downey Jr. was one of the highlights of his experience. "Tony is such a mentor to Peter, and you really feel the emotional weight of their relationship in this film," Holland said. When Peter gets involved in the battle against Thanos, it's a moment of real growth for him. Holland's portrayal of Peter's fear, determination, and loyalty to his friends was a highlight of the film, and he was praised for bringing both humor and heart to the role. The legacy of Infinity War. Looking back on the making of Avengers, Infinity War, it's clear that the film's success was due not only to the extraordinary performances of the cast, but also to the vision and dedication of the crew. Every member of the team, from the directors to the visual effects artists, contributed to creating a film that would resonate with audiences worldwide. For the actors, Infinity War marked a high point in their MCU careers. This movie felt like a culmination, not just for the fans, but for us as well, Hemsworth said. "We've all been part of these films for so long, and to see everything come together was incredibly rewarding." Downey summed it up perfectly. "This isn't just a film. It's a celebration of the entire MCU, and I'm proud to be a part of it." Avengers. Infinity War is a testament to the hard work, dedication, and creativity of its cast and crew. Behind every action sequence, every emotional moment, and every twist in the story, there is a team of passionate individuals who brought their A-game to make this film a reality. It's these behind-the-scenes stories, the laughter and challenges, that make Infinity War not just a superhero movie, but a celebration of collaboration, vision, and the magic of cinema. The making of Infinity War was not just about the heavy lifting of a massive production. It was also filled with moments of levity, camaraderie, and fun. Behind the scenes, the cast and crew shared numerous stories about the bond they formed during filming. One of the most amusing anecdotes comes from the set of the Wakanda battle. We had these intense fight sequences, and there were times when everyone would be in character, throwing punches and running around, and then suddenly someone would trip over a prop or yell "cut" because someone had forgotten a line. Hemsworth laughed. The camaraderie was evident on set, with actors like Hemsworth and Downey often pulling pranks on each other in between takes. As we come to the end of our deep dive into Avengers, Infinity War, it's clear that this film stands as one of the most remarkable achievements in modern cinema. From its intricate character arcs to its complex narrative structure, Infinity War brought together years of storytelling, weaving together threads from multiple films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've explored everything from the key players and their performances to the impactful moments that define the film's journey. Let's take a moment to recap the major points we've covered and reflect on the film's lasting impact. Recap of major points. We began our journey by looking at the Avengers, Infinity War itself, how it marked a defining moment for the MCU, bringing together an ensemble of beloved characters like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and Spider-Man, all united against the ever-looming threat of Thanos. It wasn't just another superhero film. It was the culmination of over a decade of storytelling, a monumental event that made us care about these characters, their struggles, and their relationships. We discuss how the filmmakers meticulously crafted this epic adventure to both please fans and challenge their emotions, offering a narrative with high stakes and unforgettable moments. From there, we dove into the character analysis, exploring the evolution of our favorite heroes. Characters like Iron Man, Thor, and Black Widow were given deeper emotional layers than ever before, each of them forced to confront loss, responsibility, and the potential for failure. Even lesser-known characters like Doctor Strange, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man were given significant roles in this all-encompassing storyline. Their individual arcs, combined with their unique contributions to the greater narrative, made the character-driven moments as compelling as the action sequences. We also delved into the plot, breaking down both the first and second halves of the movie. The pacing was tight and deliberate, with the first half setting up key events and alliances, and the second half plunging us into an intense climax that left audiences in shock. Infinity War expertly balanced action, character moments, and emotion, crafting a narrative that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. The film didn't just rely on spectacle. It made sure that every twist and turn was deeply tied to the larger stakes of the MCU. In addition to the film's plot and characters, we explored the filmmaking techniques that brought Infinity War to life. The breathtaking visual effects, the stunning cinematography, and the use of sound and music all played crucial roles in creating the atmosphere and mood of the film. The Russo brothers, along with their creative team, managed to turn this massive spectacle into something emotionally resonant, ensuring that every action scene and every emotional beat had a lasting impact. We also touched on some behind-the-scenes insights, offering a peek into the production of Infinity War. The experiences shared by the cast, from Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth to Tom Holland and Scarlett Johansson, highlighted how the film scale affected both their performances and their relationships with each other. The camaraderie between the cast and the challenges they faced during filming added an extra layer of depth to the final product, turning Infinity War into a collective achievement rather than just another blockbuster film. Beyond the set, we explored the themes and symbolism that ran throughout Infinity War, from the nature of power and sacrifice to the personal toll that the Avengers paid for their decisions. The central conflict, Thanos' quest for the Infinity Stones and his desire to reshape the universe, was deeply rooted in these larger themes, forcing the heroes to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and their world. A call to action. We've gone through a lot in this video, dissecting the heart of Avengers, Infinity War, and what made it so special. But this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to dive deeper into more films like this, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated with more movie analyses, in-depth reviews, and insights into your favorite films. From superhero epics like Infinity War to thrilling dramas and timeless classics, we've got you covered. By subscribing, you will get access to a steady stream of content designed to enrich your viewing experience. Whether you're a casual moviegoer or a die-hard film lover, we break down films in a way that's both accessible and insightful. You won't want to miss our upcoming deep dives, where we analyze characters, plot lines, and hidden layers in the stories that define modern cinema. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join our community of movie lovers who are just as passionate about film as you are. Be a part of the conversation and never miss out on a single cinematic journey. As we close out this video, we've certainly scratched the surface of what makes Avengers. Infinity War is such a monumental achievement in the world of cinema. From its intricate plot and character developments to its emotional impact and filmmaking brilliance, Infinity War leaves an indelible mark on the MCU and its fans. It's not just a superhero movie. It's a story about sacrifice, the weight of responsibility, and the consequences of unchecked power. Whether you're in it for the action, the emotion, or the grand scope of the narrative, there's something in this film for everyone. So, if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, and join us for more movie breakdowns. And don't forget to share your thoughts on Thanos' philosophy, because in the world of Infinity War, the discussion is far from over. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.